CGpresents, obviously myself, Ebbs, and obviously I'm here with Lady Sanity. I think she's an embodiment of storytelling. Don't start blushing. No, embodiment of storytelling though, man. Hard with the raps, a lot of substance. But tell them how old you are, where you're hailing from.
So I'm 27. It's mad because I had to think as soon as you said
is it?
What's my birthday? Okay. I just turned 27.
Yeah.
From Birmingham, around Erdington side. So shout out anybody that comes from Erdington. But yeah, man, that's me. Like, I've been rapping for a minute, so.
Okay, yeah. That's good. Obviously, before we get into the nitty gritty, again, this is not going to be too serious, so you got to get your popcorn and all that. It's going to be some fun questions. Obviously, I did this earlier, but red or blue?
Oh, blue.
Oh, that's the second one. Why?
Oh, is this gonna be deep? Like you're gonna tell me blue?
You can say whatever you want.
Blue means
I'm gonna say like why I asked that stuff like that anyway. But you tell me like why blue.
I don't know. Blue just gives me more mellow vibes. Red seems a bit angry, passionate, fiery. Even though my star sign is Aries, we're known to be.
Okay, the star sign. I'm a Taurus.
Oh, mad.
Yeah, does that mean, you know what it is? I know what I am, but I don't know if that's negative or not. Is that bad?
This is the thing. I don't know. I know what my star sign's been told, but I'm sure I've heard a couple of negative things about Taurus.
Stubborn, I hear a lot.
It's cool though, you're fine. So what Aries though, so it's cool.
Okay, yeah. No, I asked literally because, again, like when I see red, I see fire, danger, passion. But then it's techie because it's like, it's not that you won't have that in you, but it's like, which one are you more of, the blue? Okay, yeah. You see, when I listen to your music, I get more of the passion and the strength. Do you know what I mean? Red. So obviously to not hit the red, I'm thinking, okay, this is why we do this because we need to get to know.
Maybe it's not that time of day for me. Maybe, you know, when it gets to about 4, you know, before dinner, you start to get a bit hungry. That's probably more the red.
You see, as well with your stage name, Lady Sanity, like obviously the blue makes sense. She's not insane apparently because Lady Sanity, but obviously I want to know that because I don't know why. What's the truth behind like the stage name, like?
So you know what, in all honesty, when I was about 15, 16, because I've been rapping for a minute, like I said, I was young S. Because, you know, everybody was young sort of back then. But I was like, I'm not going to be young forever. And the more that I started to get into music, I was like, okay, cool, let me flip it. And I was just listening to a song and I heard the word Sanity and I was like, boom, cool.
Okay.
So this is the thing, I heard the name and I wanted to stick with it. But then the more that I thought about it, it just made sense because I was like, okay, the type of music that I want to do, I need a reason and a purpose to do it. And it was just like, let me be the sane, you know, the voice of reason almost.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, see, guys, I was there. No, that's cool. So obviously, so you're 27, started doing MCing like around 16?
Yeah, probably before that, because this is the thing. In the playground, like, I had like all the boys were like writing bars and that in class. And I was like, so we always used to have like little clashes on the playground.
Yeah,
and
you're thinking I need to spin guys.
Over. Yeah, this was it. I was like, hold on, nah. So all the girls used to be wow in the background and all of that. But teachers used to try and break up, thinking that it was a fight. But nah, it was just good still, and it was just entertaining, and I just loved it. It's something that brought me out my shell as well, because I was really quiet when I was like around them ages. So that was me. I was just known as that girl that rapped. So
nah, that's cool. So would you say like when you was younger, even before that, so even growing up, like, did you know you was gonna be like this into music or doing this like slightly earlier? Not even MCing, just anything. Like, did you grow up in like a musical home? What was it like the upbringing with the music?
Yeah, it's mad, you know, because this is the thing. A lot of people I know that do music, they're like, oh, my mum used to sing, or my dad used to do that, or used to engineer. I had none of that. Like, my parents don't do it. The most musical my family are. My grandpa plays harmonica. Like, he always used to have a little on a little yard man flex. But other than that, none of my family are musical. I think it was more of a fact that I used to have lots of different genres of music playing around me. So my dad used to play like reggae and you know, lovers rock and all that. My mum would be on R&B. I have an older sister that used to play a lot of grime when it was first coming out as well. So I think it's just the mash of influences that I used to hear.
That's good, because obviously that's going to rub off into, obviously we'll tap into that later, because like I said, obviously Sanity does like she's got her hip hop, a lot of West East, and then she blends the grime in as well, and I think that's crazy. But obviously you said like, you know, you heard a lot of different music like growing up and stuff. Like, what are some of the artists like your dad was playing, your mum was playing, you know? Sister as well, even with the grime.
My dad was playing all kinds of Bounty Killer to Beanie Man to like Gregory Isaac, just all of them, like Barry's Hammond, all of them. And then my mum was always playing things like Whitney Houston, even to like your Michael Jackson and stuff. And then my sister, she was just really heavy on like grime when it first came out. So I grew up listening to Bear, Dizzy Rascal, Kano, all the Clashes, you know what I mean? I remember her and my older cousins used to sit in their room and like put in the DVD and watch all of the Clashes. You get me on that fuzzy cameras and all of that.
Last time I used a DVD, man.
This is what I'm saying.
Goodness. Yeah, those were the days.
So that was it, and I was the youngest of how many grandkids, so it was always something that was playing like hip hop and all of that. So
yeah, and it's crazy because you see, even that's why it's good to know, because you even see that kind of, even if you don't feel like it rubbed off on you, you do see those elements and things in your music and things like that. So that's cool to know, man. So
I've heard a couple people say that you know, if I ever do get to a certain place, like, oh, I need to cut me little, because remember I played you that that CD when you were like 4. It was embedded in
it. You're like, I remember you, man. I remember you. Don't worry. Nah, that's cool.
Timing. Give me timing. Creative gen, and we tell them, give me time and space. I don't really wanna have to come put them in place. Flow got a nice ring, but I really can't engage. Cause every track is a level up to my final stage. To my final. Yo, give me time and space. I don't really wanna have to come put them in place. Flow got a nice ring, but I really can't engage. Cause every track is a level up to my final. To my final. Like if they did a body bag for beats, I'd be the best client. They dread trying, put on weight like a left diet. You get air like pilots, dead silence. Someone air like timing, mic lining. Don't care who's co-signing, these one hit wonders to chime in. Continue to do that for your diamonds and for your mining, but mine a real one might come out your neck like a violin. Leave it, I'm not about violence. Somebody firing, I'm here for inspiring. Music ain't dead, that's a sloppy rap. Life is a beach, I bring waves to the islands. I stay the same for the sirens, through pain for the triumphs. Gotta do what I can to maintain when faith fades. Can't trust this new age, I stay defiant. They can't fit with daily routines on life and replace them with placement on lean from pills and codeine. Rushing through life like Moscow's where they're born and they breed. Called when I was born to, told them I was born to queen. Royalty surrounds me, that's all I need. World is my oyster, I was born to seize. Drowning with ocean wisdom, but I got high focus, so I lift them. Many men are too trapped in the system and don't care for uniting the kingdom. Not England, the bigger picture. Survival tactics, more than hoodies and target practice, more than gang signs and loud mouth. We spark the fire without the matches, like space. I don't really wanna have to come put them in. Flow to me, but I really can't sing. Cause every track is a level up to my final. To my final. Yo, give me time and space. I don't really wanna have to come put them in place. Flow got a nice ring, but I really can't sing. Cause every track is a level up to my final stage. To my final. And I wanna make an emphasis, but priorities are more in the penmanship. Don't wanna pass the mic, the agenda sit. Cause this woman can run laps on your sentences. Every day I make sure I make entrances. Make a week MC, look where the exit is. I'm a very important person to my damn self, so I don't really care what the guess is. Check it, it's just die in a room full of clones that confuse when I zone to that brutalist tone. Moving along with improvement to show. You're only part of the scene with a view from your drone. Talk about bird's eye view must be frozen food, and you brag about heating your British gas got you living mad, then you switch on the map for some roles you don't own, and ain't like that. If we're destroying the ends, we can't fight back. What's a lone wolf if we can't bite back? On a solo flex, if we can't break the cycle, I make the cycle end yours like I ain't sight factor, I hype back. I should headline, you should lie back. I ain't Greece, you can't iron that tick. Terrible bitch, you got a diagram on my. You beg ideas, I scrap. And you can't lie on me, that's fact. Say it with your chest, but you're sounding flat. Foul agenda like salary. Wonder whether they're a politician or a professional actress. If man said the line, but ain't got no. Cause I can get shot, I with blood on you. And continue to scheme when the city is plans like space. I don't really wanna have to come put them in. Flow got a nice ring, but I really can't engage. Cause every track is a level up to my final stage. To my final. Give me time and space. I don't really wanna have to come put them in. Like, flow got a nice ring, but I really can't engage. Cause every track is a level up to my final stage. To my final. Simon, give me time and space, Timing, give me time and space, we need that time and space,
So, bath or shower?
Or shower.
Shower.
Quick.
Okay.
Convenient. You don't have to sit in your... I don't know why, but now a friend said it to me and I always think of it. When I think of a bath now, you literally sitting. If you've had a long day, you're sitting in your own like dirty water, and that thought has always stuck with me.
Okay.
So I prefer showers now, but
you
never know. Every now and again, a bath.
Okay, so shower. So in the shower, sing or no sing?
Sing.
Okay, so do you have a go-to song, or is it like you're just singing whatever's in your head at that time?
Whatever's in my head. Sometimes if I've got time, I'll run a little Spotify playlist or whatever.
Okay,
and then if the mood takes me, I'll hit a little note.
Okay, do you feel like you hit the notes better in the shower or when you're in the booth?
Shower.
Yeah,
you got the reverb.
I knew she was gonna hit me with that. Oh my days.
The mood is right. I don't know what it is. Like,
I hear it. It's just you and no one else. You ain't got that pressure. Do you ever find like you do like even if you're in there, not even singing, like rapping, like because obviously we're gonna get into it later, but like she's done good stuff like shows and things. You feel like you perform there as well in the shower, you know, like. Because obviously you'll be in your element in the shower, no one's coming in there, it's just you.
Sometimes I say the shower is somewhere, I don't know if other artists are with me on this, but you get so inspired for some reason. There have been so many times I've had to like cut a shower short or try and reach my phone to record, hum a little melody or a flow, because I don't know why the ideas just hit you and it's like, that's the spot.
Nah, that's enjoyment, man. That's what we call enjoyment, man. But what's the weirdest thing that you would say, like maybe that's happened to you so far? Because obviously you've been doing this for a bit. You've got a career there. What's the weirdest thing you've ever heard, or that's just happened to you maybe like throughout this journey, like that sticks out and you're like, oh, why did this happen? Or flip, I wish that didn't happen.
I've had a couple, you know, like I remember I'd done Glastonbury and it probably wasn't weird for Glastonbury, but because that was literally like my first festival I'd done. And I remember there was a guy and it was pouring down with rainfall on my sets, and there was a guy just in the middle living his best life but rolling in the mud and that.
Oh, is
but
it?
Throughout it, he was also trying to run to the front and high five me, so I was a bit like,
So you had your radar, you had your watch radar on this guy, bro.
For real. So I think, that was definitely a weird one, but I've had a couple. But there was also someone that tried to give me money whilst I was on stage. I was like, what kind of performance are you trying to get? Like,
oh my goodness.
Fully was just there with a bag of money. Like,
did he say why, or did you just?
Nah, my cousin fully just, because this was when I was starting off as well. So I was like, who's this guy? And my cousin just gripped him up.
I can imagine. I'd be very shook, man. So if you, obviously we know you love music. What else, what are your interests and hobbies like outside of the music? Obviously we know you have the love for it, you do that, but what else do you like indulge in like in your spare time?
Different bits. I'll go through phases. Like I went through a phase, I was really into martial arts. I did karate when I was young, and I also did another martial art called Aikido, and it's more self-defense. I really want to pick that back up though.
Oh, is it?
Because I really enjoyed it.
Do you think you will?
I want to. This is the thing, but I'm just like timing-wise, can I? Do you know what I mean? Especially throughout lockdown, I was like, I wish I had something like that, because it's very like, it's peaceful and it's more about using other people's body weight against them. So if you ever get into someone's twice your size, you can still flip man over. And I don't know, I love the concept of it, like just even if someone's bigger than you, or you still have the techniques to, you know what I mean?
Do you know what's crazy when I ask like some questions and stuff? It's like, everything just ties in with the person when you find, because like obviously and maybe fans as well will have like an image of you, like obviously like I said, I think your music's got substance, but like you're always saying like stuff that needs to be heard, you're getting a message across, and then you're describing the martial art thing, and it's like, if someone's bigger than you, defending yourself, it's like, no, it's not leaving you, it's never leaving you, and it's it's crazy how it all ties in, man. That's mad, man. But if obviously right now you wasn't doing music, and let's say you had to get paid for something, what do you think you'd be doing?
You know what, for the longest I thought I'd love to get into piloting, you know.
Is it?
I reckon I'd go into some type of, I don't
Any
know.
reason for it, or like?
When I'm on planes, I love being in the sky. And I've just always thought, like, if I wasn't doing music, I'd probably try and get into this. Like, and I don't want to be like an air hostess or anything. No disrespect to any air hostess. But yeah, I don't know. Just being in control and being in the sky. It's just like...
that brings me on to a next like question before we go into a bit of the music, because I want them to really know who you are, like inside. But are you a gatherer or are you a hunter? Like, are you likely the one to go hunt all the food, hunt the people if there's threats, or are you gonna be the one that like gathers the resources, make sure everyone survives?
I feel like I'm a bit of both.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, because this is the thing. I feel like if if I need to, I will hunt.
Yeah.
But also, I do think of others, so I think I'm a bit of both. I try and mix and blend in between the two.
Okay, we're gonna see if that's true. Obviously now, we're gonna see if that's true. When we talk like the creation process for you, like, what's your creation process like? Run us through like when Sanity walks into the studio. Like, run us through like what you do first. Like, is it a sit down, cool off, this, that, or you like straight in? Like, run us through like what Sanity is like in the studio. So for people that might not get that chance ever, you can experience it together, guys. Come.
Usually, I am someone that's just straight on it. So like, a lot of the times people are like, oh, come chill, like have a drink, relax, and I'm just like, nah, play the beat.
Okay,
you know
so I mean? Down to it,
So I'm straight down to it. But you know, usually I just start off. Obviously, I arrive. I'll whoever's there producing with me, or if it's like people that play for me in my band or whatever, we'll run through ideas. We might start with a melody or something, and it'll just build from there, really. Like, I like to keep things as open as possible. It's very rare that I step into a studio or a space and I'm just like, boom, 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 needs to happen. I'm very like open-minded, so if the vibe takes us in one place, we'll just run with it.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So would you say like, even, have you got anything else like behind you? Like, do you put like maybe produce in spare time, know a bit about engineering?
I do,
do you know what I mean?
you know,
you do, that's what I wanted to know, because
Yeah.
you rarely find that sometimes. Like, you know, it's a thing,
It's
but
true.
if it's not being done, or like, you know, you see credits for people, you don't really think about it. So like, run us through like the producing thing, like what you do like with the production.
So sometimes I do like start off on little melody ideas and I'll send it out to other people. I don't as much now, but I'm trying to get back into it. When I was younger, I used to play guitar as well, so again, I'm trying to get back onto it, but I'll pick up my guitars every now and then and play. But yeah, and also even with the production engineering side and that, I went to uni to study music tech, so I do know quite a lot of the studio side. I don't do it as much anymore, but you know, I still got my own setup to
I feel like that always makes an artist like complete, and I feel like there's obviously when you get a good team, everything runs smooth, so you don't get as frustrated. But there's probably a lot of times where, like you said, maybe you're in the shower, you get that brief moment, and maybe you want to just make it all yourself then and there.
I've had
do you know what I mean?
moments
Yeah,
for
you just
real,
want to do
like
it
just
yourself.
put a little melody down real quick. But I think it was more for me as well a thing of, if I don't have the resources to make something happen, I need to find a way to make it happen. So like when I was younger and I was like, I wanted to record, I wanted to be in the studio all the time. Like, I saved up, got like a £10 mic from Argos. And then I was like just searching online, like how do you record yourself? What programs are free? Like get a little Fruity Loops thing and try and just work out. And obviously the older I got and the more that I started to read and take courses for it, it just kind of built like that. There was never a stage where I was like, I want to be a studio engineer. It's just because I didn't have the resources, I had to figure out how to make it happen.
I think that's always good though, like it's trial and error, and it's like 100. You just, because as well, that's how you find out, I guess, what is best for you and where you want to kind of go and drift off into. But
definitely.
That's cold, man. Obviously, when it comes to the music, obviously, I know there's a lot of different elements and you're not actually structured to just one genre. You kind of, you blend stuff really well. It's not like a 1-2, it's like a nice, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like everything's just mixed into each other. But run us through like how that's been for you, like with your career. Did you ever find yourself, you know, like stuck to one sound and doing that? And then did you just think, you know, let me just mix everything and run with it? Like, run us through like some of your singles and like projects up to this point and how some of the processes of them were for you, like sound-wise and stuff.
I think when I first was starting out, I was very much like, all I wanted to do is make like old school hip hop. So, you know, kind of under 100 BPM kind of vibes, you know, had that kind of sample type vibe as well. And I don't know why, that was just where my headspace was at and the kind of thing that I vibe to the most. But it wasn't until I started to like hear artists like Akala and like L.O.V.E and stuff like that. And a couple of other artists like Kano as well. I was like, right, you can do like faster genres but still have that content, because I think that's what drew me in the most. When I was in school, everybody was listening to grime and it was all, I run up in your mum's house and all. I can't be rapping about that. That's not me. Like, I can't be saying things like that. So I feel like I gravitated towards more of the hip hop and boom bap side because of the content. But then when I saw those UK MCs and people like Miss Dynamite as well, I can't forget. When I heard them speak about things that weren't particularly, you know, like Aggie or anything like that, I was like, right, you can do that on faster beats. Like, it's stupid, but it's like...
It's true what you're saying. Most people just associate it with the slower and the, like, sit down and listen to me like campfire, everyone gather around. And, I know what you mean. So I know what you mean.
So when I heard those people, I was more inspired to do stuff like that. So I have a track called Can't Say, and I remember I brought that out, and I wanted it to sound very UK, like grime. I think that's probably the grimiest I've got on a track. I think that was like 2016. And I'd done that, and it actually got me through. When I was speaking about Glastonbury, that's what got me through to be able to perform at Glastonbury. So again, I think from experiencing that, it kind of locked in to not ever limit myself or tie myself down to one particular genre. And just experiment as much as possible, because especially when you start to get industry attention and that, it's like, oh, we like you, but we'd like you to focus on this. Or, you know, we want to update your brand should only be one thing, you can't be doing too much. And I'm like, but as a creative mind,
you don't want to be boxed in.
How can you just box yourself into one genre for life? Do you know what I mean? Like, as you grow and get older as well, I couldn't just say, I do this type of music, because 5 years time, I still want to be doing music, and I don't want to be like, okay, I only do folk.
Yeah, no,
I want to express myself.
You don't want to feel. That's the reason you probably do it, because it's the freedom and the creativeness. 100%. So it's like when you hear the boxed in stuff, it's like, nah, I'm not trying to do that.
Lady Sanity, Creative Gen. Hey, let's go. Hey, Yo, it's never perfect. Yo, yeah, it's never perfect. Yo, it's never perfect. We tell them, like, I get mad frustrated. Too many asking favors, giving all my energies, but levels ain't reciprocated. A drop of rebel guidance, silence, pirate copies and pythons, and simple salmon stop hyping for show and get back to grinding. Diamond dreams don't save you. Got teeth before they praise you, got scrape before they pay you, got bend before they break you. You ever sit and analyze and wonder if they rate you? And stand up like, nah man, don't ever be a slave to. Parade the stage about some ignorance that they can rave to, but get vexed if I ever heard my nieces play the same tired sound, only screech at this to make tunes. Said there's no space for the conscious, they better make from here's something like the 70s show. Throw shade but won't hide from where an enemy goes. Won't waste time for man, with a love for my bros. Get rid of the codes, stay rooted cause it's never perfect timing.
Searching for the peace beneath all of the violence. So I speak like it is me versing the sirens. Trying to find my feet and beats I can't confine in. Still I'm finding it's never perfect timing. Searching for the peace beneath all of the violence. So I speak like it is me versing the sirens. Trying to find my feet and beats I can't confine in. Still I'm finding.
Yo, like, I'm finding that it's never perfect. Only good timing is a beach for temporary purpose. Time is the best healer, but this deadline got me near to nervous. Kept my character distance like I've got a fear of cursing. All these fire rappers, no wonder why the world is burning. All leaders with no direction, surprised the world's still turning. Turbulent times occurring, socials affect your earning. All these numbers really got them feeling they're more deserving. Rather than blood, sweat and tears, they pour crud, tech and fear. Glamorize disorders to their peers. Romanticize abuse to the point that I'm scared. My affection and love will get pointed as weird. I wonder where I'd be without my sanity. People stay sleeping but dream on in their reality. Stare and pray that salary will come on over like Valerie. But let's be frank, drowning in the ocean cause it's never perfect timing.
Searching for the peace beneath all of the violence. So I speak like it is me versing the sirens. Trying to find my feet and beats I can't confine in. Still I'm finding it's never perfect timing. Searching for the peace beneath all of the violence. So I speak like it is me versing the sirens. Trying to find my feet and beats I can't confine in. Still I'm finding.
Hey, yeah. Smooth. Yeah, Sanity.
So obviously we're talking obviously music right now and that not being boxed in and you blend in your genres. What's your strength though? So like obviously if a sound came up and they said Sanity, we want you at this sound, and they mention that sound, you go raw, I'm bodying anyone, like anyone that comes for me at this sound, I've got this sound. What genre or sound is that for you? Like
again, because I've jumped on so many genres.
Yeah.
I'd rather other people say it. I hate saying like, oh, this genre is my go-to.
Do you know why I asked that though? Because like, I don't know what it's like for artists mainly, because artists always have a lot of stuff in the vault, but sometimes I'll talk to producers, for example, will be known for one genre and behind closed doors, they're actually enjoying like making R&B type of sounds, but nobody's picking them up, so no one knows they're good at that. So obviously you've got a bit of everything out there, but it could be a thing where, I don't know, in the studio, stuff that doesn't get released, I don't know, maybe you do stuff quicker with R&B and stuff. So
I hear that.
Yeah, stuff like that.
You know what it is for me? Okay, thinking of that then, I'd probably say music that is just completely produced with instruments, like not much computer programming, and it's just like natural. And a lot of my stuff to come will be that, because as I've gone through this process of like trial and error and stuff, a lot of the things that are sitting on my like desktop at home have that vibe. It's just like me and a piano, but it'll probably build up, or trying to venture into getting like harps and string quartets and all that stuff in future. So I think it's that, but it's to come. So keep locked for that type of music.
Guys, we want jazz, don't we? We love jazz. We want jazz.
Do
we get jazz? Yeah.
we get jazz.
Are we gonna get some jazz?
You'll get some jazz.
Nah, that's good, man. Nah, that's good, man.
I'm actually featuring on quite a lot of, I don't know why, but throughout lockdown, a lot of jazz musicians seem to have just found me.
Oh, is it?
So I've got a lot of features with some jazz musicians coming up.
That's good, man, because that works with what you're trying to do, man. Because when you do get those songs, like even with your latest single, Love, like you do hear that, and it's like, whoa, project of that would be very sick.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get that? To be disclosed.
You definitely gotta get that.
But yeah, man. Obviously, you mentioned earlier Glastonbury as well. I know you performed at Commonwealth. Obviously, I know stuff, but I want you to tell us at home and me here. You know, talk about like your accolades and you know, mention a few of those, and then let us know like what would you say is like your favorite moments or most notable, and that could be how well it done success-wise, or just it's why it stuck out the most because what it made it do for you feeling-wise and things like that.
This is the thing, accolades. Sometimes things escape, like I just forget about them, and that's not just because of time. It's just like so many things happening. But yeah, like you said, Commonwealth, Glastonbury is a big one for me. I got a GRM Daily Award as well. I can't even remember the year. A couple years ago. Birmingham Music Awards, been awarded from them a few times. So there's a few that are floating about. But for me personally, even though all those experiences are great, I'm not gonna lie, times where I've done like things like youth work have stuck out to me the most. I mean, it's been great being in spaces with people and performing at places like Wireless as well. But there was one particular time, and I did a workshop, and I performed and presented like a writing workshop to some kids in Dudley. And I remember there's this girl, and she was like, "Oh, I want to rap and show that like you in the class something, but I'm too nervous." And I remember she was like, "Oh, if can we go outside and I can rap it to you?" And I was like, "Yeah, cool." She went out and she had her phone and she's reading her bars for me. I was like, "Yo, that's sick." I was like, "Nah, come, we'll do it together." We're back in the class, and she ended up rapping, and like the class literally exploded. I was like, going crazy for it, and that always stuck in my mind as such a powerful like day as a whole. And just to see like, I don't know, I think it's just seeing her become a more confident person, because she reminded me of me when I was like 13, 14, and quite touching, so to see that, I was like, if I can do this for more young girls in particular and encourage them to just be confident with themselves, you know, and their abilities. So moments like that stick out for me heavy, man.
It's all about helping. It's what I've been trying to say. It's all about helping the people. Well, obviously not everyone's like that, but that's where I get my joy. And it's a good thing to see, like, obviously you know yourself, you watch yourself building and growing, and then you see it in front of you when you can. Man. I can imagine, man. So when it comes to your singles, obviously, what would you say is your favorite like single you've made? Obviously, that's gonna be. It could be tough on the spot, but I don't know. You look at it and you just think, the studio process for that was good. It did well as well. It just came out good. Got received well. Like, what would you say that? Which track does that for you?
I feel like I'm tied between Time and Space. And Trapping.
Oh, you know what's so insane? I was going to talk about one of my favourite songs, and I was going to say Quit and Trapping. And the fact that she slapped, I couldn't believe that you guys funny.
I have to say it, because like you said, writing process for both of those was so smooth, and like me and my manager have become really like particular about the recording process. So if like a line isn't delivered correctly on a track, it's like, do it again. But for those two, I remember Time and Space wasn't even going to be on my last release. It was just a single from like a year before, and it was just floating. We didn't know what we wanted to do with it. It's like, put it on the release. It's like, you don't even need to record it again, just put it out there. So those two were just so smooth, and it just, I don't know, it embodied everything that I wanted to say at the moment. So those two releases.
Nah, that's good, man. I see the excitement I had when she said Trump, because I was thinking I was gonna be like, oh, these are my favorite songs. What are yours? And she said it anyway. What would you say, like, obviously not to get too dark and negative, obviously, but what song did you have? Because there's always difficulties when you do this thing. Like, is there ever a release you put out and you just thought, oh, no, I gotta do better, or like, you know, this is not, I don't want people to hear this. Like, I'm more than this. Any releases that made you feel a bit offish?
There's been a couple, you know. There's been a couple, but at the same time, it's usually parts of songs. It's never like a whole song. It's like, oh, why did I do that chorus like that? Or I should have made someone else do this chorus. There's nothing that sticks out, but there's definitely been those moments. But that's why now I'm taking a bit more time with releases and in studio, because I need to sit on a track and make sure, like, in a month's time, I'm still going to be happy with this.
Nah, of course, man. So would you call yourself a perfectionist in that sense?
A little bit.
I
can't completely say because there's certain times I'm cool to just let things go and just be like, oh, that can run.
But do you think that's a good or bad thing for you? Like, does that work in your favour or not?
I think sometimes it does. Because again, I feel like if I was too much of a perfectionist, and I have friends like this, things would never get released. I have friends that have shown me music like 2 years ago, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds sick. Where's the song though? Like, they still haven't released it because they're like, nah, there's a note off here, or, you know, I didn't, I don't know, record this thing properly. And I'm just like, if I was like that, things would never get done. So I feel like you need to find that balance as an artist to learn how to just let things exist. Yeah, shout out Jay Alexzander in the chorus, like, yeah. I'm saying, your love is something that I cannot control. Probably the reason I won't ever speak if you go. Cause all we ever see is relationships broken, seeing is believing. So that's all that we know. What will it take to break the cycle? You got some triggers, how I deliver your love is vital. Don't wanna be liable for your future, spiteful with better suitors. I can't really show you my heart if every move is mindful. I heard some brothers tell my brother he's a man up. That's how it goes around here, when you hurt they tell you stand up. As if your pain is comedy, laughter only hits sonically. Be acting strong so long they act like we don't need a hand up. Don't know what to tell us, it's emotions that they sell us. And the thought of being loved overtakes the actual feel. Emotions can repel us, socials influence malice. And the thought of if it breaks and take away from me appeal. Yeah, we need more. L.O.V.E. Yeah, I'm so sure. L.O.V.E. love, what we're in need of. Yeah, we need more. L.O.V.E. love, what we're in need of. Feeling so pure. I always thought that love was a funny concept. Lately it's like we enjoy stripping its context. And people love to hate, that's for sure, but we're selfish with it, rather devote it or to some object. Seen private affairs gone public quick, everyone breathe. Posting captions dedicated to someone that won't see it. All we need are emojis, double tap when I'm lonely. A couple snaps on a lonely, and then you feel like you know me. Seen pretty girls tear themselves apart to see the beauty of the gallery kept in the dark. I mean, if somebody chooses to tear you down, says more about them, doesn't reflect yourself. And if you choose to change, do so when it's right for you. Things get better, man, trust me, despite the view we're in currently. Can't spend a life chasing currency. Can't chase a thing if it doesn't feel like it's stopping me from. We're in need of. Don't need more. We're in need of. I'm so sure. What we're in need of. That's right. That's right. That's right. Yo, I'm so sure.
Again, more lighter. If you could be a fruit, what would you be?
Ooh, a fruit. think I'd say a strawberry. Just because I like strawberries.
Is it? No other reasons or?
Not that I can think of, no.
Okay, do you know what? I wish there was a psychology thing behind this, but there isn't. I couldn't, it's not like the colours.
Every time you ask, I'm expecting some deep breakdown, you know, our strawberries signify that.
Do you know what it is? I thought I was going to have one, but I just realised there's none. It's just nice to know. But yeah, man, as for projects, like, talk us through projects, because you've got a few.
Yeah.
I think with the EPs, obviously, I think they're brazy, but it's nice to know the process of each one. Like, obviously, I think as time goes, you're obviously always growing as an individual as well. Would you say the processes for like your projects have changed at all, like drastically, or would you say they've stayed the same? Like, talk us through like stuff you even with certain ones, what you aimed for and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
So my first ever like body of work, I call it a mixtape, was probably Construction, and I released that years ago.
Yeah.
It's not on like Spotify or anything. It's on my SoundCloud. I kept it on SoundCloud and Bandcamp. But I think the process for all of them have been the same, because I've got at least 7 now. Yeah. And it's always like a snapshot of where I'm at. So Construction, I was in like university, I think, trying to figure stuff out, and I knew I was still building. So hence Construction. I've also got one called The Graduate, when I just graduated. Like, everything is a snapshot of where I am in life. So my most recent one, Lying in Truth as well, just like trying to figure out who I am as a person. So yeah, I feel like each one has to start with a concept, and 9 times out of 10, the concept is where I'm at in life. Okay. It's just a nice snapshot for me to listen back to as well. And think, oh, mad, I remember when I wrote about that and what I was feeling and what I was thinking. So it's kind of like, it's like almost like photos. Okay, you know what I mean? I was gonna say, like, it's always sick when you look at musicians like that, because it's like, you can see, I don't know, I wouldn't say, what's the generic one? So as an artist has started, you can see they've really just started. This is it, they're, like you said with your construction project, like they're figuring it out, and then some get to a stage where it's like you can see either they've become successful or things are okay. A bit
and you
more
can see they're just
and
you can see they're just having fun now more. So it's not as serious, or not as they're trying to prove a point. Have you got any projects like that? Have you thought like, I'm saying this is me, where I'm just, you guys need to know I'm just enjoying it now? Like, I
feel like I more have tracks like that. I try and at least have 1 or 2 like more light-hearted tracks. Tracks that are just vibes, like you said, like a quick. On my last project, and that's just vibes. I'm not particularly like being super serious on it. I'm just in studio, just on a vibe. Okay,
Nah, I hear that. Obviously, for those at home that like your movies, I like my movies. Favorite film?
Ooh, Princess Mononoke. I don't know if you're into like
anime. Why? Yeah, I love man. Why Princess Mononoke? Like, why?
I watched it when I was really young, and it always stuck with me. Like, I've showed it to my nieces. Like, it's just one of those. And every time I watch it back, I'm like, yo, this was deep, you know? Like, the message that it gives you as well, like, respecting the things around you, and, you know, learning to be, like, it sounds so hippie, but, like, learning to be at one with nature, and, you know.
Nah, but you see, this is what I asked. You see how everybody's tying it? This is, for me anyway, and I'm sure for fans as well, all the stuff you're saying now, like, outside of the music, this is how I reckon we would see you as anyway. So when you say stuff like this and these are your reasons, it all just clicks, and it makes so much sense, man. It makes so much sense. What's what would you say the roles of, like, what's music for you? So me particularly, I've been listening to, like, I'm more of like they call it real rap in the UK, but to me it's like, it's just UK hip hop. Do you know what I mean? It's UK, but that's the sort of music that for me, for all my life, like growing up, it gets me through a lot. It's really done a lot for me. What's the role of music for you in your life? Like, is it a one thing where it's like, you know what, this is, if I want to escape or express myself, this is what it is? Or do you get moments still where it's like, I'm going for a rough time if it's not for music? You know, what's music for you like?
I think for me, it's both an escape, but also just kind of like, this is where I'm at in life. There are so many tracks that, sure people have had it as well, like a track that you hear just randomly, whether you're like going through your files at home or whatever, and you're like, rah, I remember this track reminds me of, I don't know, walking back home from the thingy after this job. Like, I have tracks like that that are so significant to points in my life. I know, like, the whole of Joey Badass's like first mixtape just reminds me of walking from my accommodation in uni to the train station ready to go home. I used to rinse it. So that I have so many songs like Lupe Fiasco as well, The Coolest, that always reminds me of just like college times, like you know what I mean? They're just parts of my life that just signify parts of my life, and it just brings me back to that moment. And I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, I love when music does that. But then I also hate when music flipping, you'll have a bad moment, and it's like, you know, just, can't even listen to the song anymore because it's like, it's always going to happen.
It was the Drake tracks on it.
Gosh, don't even, let's not start, man. Couple Kalani ones.
Listening to Marvin's Room. Like,
oh, mate, let's not, man. That's literally, I think, my whole secondary school experience is all that sad stuff. Save the tissues, it's fine. But in this like music thing specifically, I'm not going to use this term, industry or whatever, just music as a whole, the journey, career.
Yeah.
What's the biggest problem you face? Like, I speak to people and artists always say when it's making the music is the best thing ever, but you know, releasing and all the other stuff, and obviously as you do it more and more, you get used to it. But what would you say is like the biggest problem you face like in this whole thing so far?
I definitely agree with that. Like, release plans are just so stressful, and I think there's so much more of a pressure now because you do have like the big giants, the Apple Music and Spotify. Can my track get playlisted? How many streams am I gonna get on this? Like, it's so much more like strategic now, and it's like I do really miss the times where I was just figuring things out with what I want to do with music in school, and I had my £10 mic and I just record a track and just upload it on SoundCloud carefree. Like, do you ever
feel like you don't get that as much now? Obviously, like obviously people at home might not know. Obviously, having done all the performances and shows you've done and having achieved so much already, do you feel like you? Obviously, in the studio you'll get that feeling, but do you feel like you don't get that as much anymore now as things have?
You do and you don't, and I say that because I still do things like little freestyles on like an Instagram and just put it out there. So if I've written some bars and it's not particularly for anything, I'll be like, you know what, let me slap this on a beat and just upload it just to keep momentum going. Like, if I know a song's or a single's getting delayed, I'm like, okay, let me do something just to show people that I'm still actually writing music. I just can't release it officially yet.
Nah, because it'd be sad, because I always used to say to people, like, do what you want, and there's no point, you know, doing something or that you enjoy, and it's like the enjoyment gets taken out of that because of all the stuff around it.
But at the same time, when you do have a release and you put it out there and you feel like it's going to do well and it does, then it's just 10 times better. Because it's almost like when you had the freedom to just put tracks out there and not really business about what it does, like, that's cool, stress-free. But there's also like a different level of happiness that you feel when you've put a lot into a track and it does do well. Like, it's like, I put all this planning and there's a reason why, do you know what I mean? Like, it achieved that, so.
Nah, of course. So, are there any talents you have? So, I want to call it, without being brash or harsh, any, like, useless talents you have. So, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, it's really good, but it's like, there's nothing to it, but it's like, no, look, guys, I can do this. I have that with juggling, man. Juggling's mine. It's like, I can do it, but I know clowns and that use it and whatever. Off camera, you'll see it later. Behind the scenes, but it's like, where am I? What's it useful for? Like, do you know what I mean?
I don't even know. You know, I don't even think I have a useless talent. That's so sad.
Do you know what it is? You might not think of it now, but you might click you after, because there's always something. I used to say mine was juggling, man, and then it became whistling sometimes. It's like, cause I couldn't whistle, and then I was like, all of a sudden I can whistle, and I'm whistling national anthems.
I can whistle.
Yeah,
I can do that.
A tune? You're gonna give us a tune? Give us a tune. The pressure, guys, cut the cameras. The pressure was too much. Moving on. No, but swiftly though, if we talk Sanity, like with the career and everything, again, like having achieved what you've done, I think it's sick, and I feel like you get smithing looking in. Like, I feel like it's so much harder for the artists with substance. I mean, we have like. We have people up there that do it, but when it comes to nowadays, people favour which, you know, it makes sense. They favour the catchiness, the songs, the this, that. So, you know, to see someone doing so well with the substance and stuff is so good. What's your like, what's the plans for Sanity? Like, what's the future holding? You know, what were you looking at? Like, how many more projects you want to get released? Like, do you know is there any things you want to do, like show-wise? Is there any? Because again, Glastonbury is quite big, Commonwealth is quite big, and I'm sure all the other stuff that's probably slipping your mind. Is there anything you've gone, no, I want to do this by this date or whatever? Like, you know, talk to us.
100%, man. I think my main goal for now is just touring. Like, I get the most joy of just being on stage and just meeting different people from different walks of life, and you know, just being on stage. Like I said, I'm trying to do more with like live sound as well, and I have my band, and it feels like everything's coming together. I used to hate being on stage as well.
Is it?
Yeah, I used to hate it because with the confidence thing as well, I didn't like. I used to just look at the floor for my whole performance.
Was that more like earlier? Because I remember you saying earlier when you started emceeing like around 16 and stuff, it brought you out your show. Even like being on the playgrounds and stuff. Like so was that like very early on, or did that continue for like quite a bit?
Quite a bit, probably up until I was like 20, 21, I was still very just like, one performance always sticks out for me, and it was in Digbeth in the custard factory. And my cousin's girlfriend come to watch me perform, and I remember after my performance she's like, oh, you was really good, but for the whole performance she says you looked at the floor, and that always stuck with me. So now, like from then, I just remember like I always used to be like very much, I'm gonna look into everybody's eyes and just go with the flow type
I was even gonna say before we even continue with your future stuff, have you got tips for music? Because there's probably gonna be a lot of people hearing that, how to overcome like, I don't know, stage fright or like performing. Because my tip, I did drama in school. I'm not making this about me, guys, but just as an advice, because
you need an actor.
It might be like you've got the fire signs there. Like sometimes, I don't know if it's for everyone, but on stage you see like signs. You can just look at the signs, but it looks like you're looking at everyone, but you're actually looking at the sign. So have you got any tips like for people that you know might go through stage fright?
I think more than anything, especially if you're not someone that's as confident, it's literally just you have to throw yourself out there eventually. But just practice. If you practice your set enough and practice like your lyrics enough, it gets to a point where you don't even have to think about the song. Because I feel like for a lot of artists and people that do creative things, it's more, I want to get in front of the audience, I want to forget my words, and then people are going to start like, if you remember your lyrics enough, then they will just come out. I'm at a point now, there are certain songs, I don't even think about it. I can be thinking about what I'm cooking for dinner tonight, but my lyrics are still coming out at the same time, innit? So just being prepared in that sense. And like you said, you mentioned it, just looking further sometimes, like, it just opens it up. I had a performance type coach for the Commonwealth Games performance. And one of the things that he always says was just like body language as well. If you rap or perform closed, it makes people think you don't want to be there. So just open yourself up a little, like look past people, and it just makes it more inclusive.
See, look behind, like exclusive tips, you know. But obviously, back to Sanity. Obviously, more of the goals. So obviously, you said touring, and I'm guessing obviously more shows, like when COVID and all that hopefully cuts up. You got anything that you just want to achieve with like maybe tracks specifically? Like obviously, I know, do you know what it is? I know I like it when artists come and say they do it a lot more for the music and their enjoyment and stuff. But obviously, still, you know, you want to be able to, I guess, survive off it, live off it and stuff. 100. Is there any like you got any goals wise that you think you could do with like projects maybe and not singles,
you know
anything like that?
I'm actually in the process right now of trying to get an album, my first album together. And I'm being so stressed. I know a lot of artists, like your first album is like, people put it off, it's just EPs, mixtapes, EPs. But I feel like I'm at that stage now where I know what I want to do, and I feel like I have the right people around me to make a good quality album happen. I just got funding as well from Power Up, which is an amazing new incentive that's happened for Black creators and Black professionals in music. So with stuff like that, I just feel like I have the right resources to make it happen. Like I said, I'm doing stuff with a lot of musicians as well, so sound quality should be there. And I think putting my album out there and having it well received will mean a lot to me. If it doesn't get well received, I know I'll put my all into it. But at the same time, I'm like, the planning that's going into it at the moment, I just feel like it's the right time, and I feel like it should just do well. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure it will, man. I mean, if you look at our latest single and the way it, you know, usually you have an artist have their substance and stuff, but you've got a nice chorus in there. The guys at the back are saying it's sticking in their head and everything. So
and this is where we're going now, because I've done, like you said, I've done so many different genres, but I know where I'm comfortable and like what I want to create and how to create it now. So it's like, how do I run with this sound? Like mixing the jazz in and all that stuff.
So obviously with that, have you got, so advice-wise, because I always, you know, I'm running through things, I'm thinking, oh, I wish I knew this, I wish I knew that. Is there anything you wish, you know, if there was something you wish you could have heard advice-wise, like in this music thing, and then also life-wise as well, whilst you've been doing this, what have you got to tell those at home? Like, you know, like, make sure you guys hear, you need to hear this.
get a good team around you.
Yeah,
Having
important.
a solid team it just makes everything so much better.
Yeah.
Because I was on this solo solo wolf vibe for ages. I was like, nah, it's just gonna be me. And I had a friend that helped me occasionally as well. But I was just like, yeah, I can do this. Like, boom. But it just takes so much pressure off. And finding a team, it doesn't even mean like I need a manager that's got 72 years experience and like it could literally be your best friend that is just more organized than you.
Yeah, the people that even understand you, like just understand you, like that's where it works.
It's just important to be around people that you're friends with, as well as like they know how to get things done.
Yeah,
like
facts.
there's no point in hiring someone and you know they're good at one thing, but you're also good at it. Like try to find someone that's better at certain things than you. Like said, if you're not organized, then you have a friend that's organized. Boom, can you help me organize stuff? You know what I mean? It's that simple. It's that simple. If you're not good with talking and networking, find a friend that's really talkative.
Yeah.
And then,
That's a big one,
get
because
them to network for you, plug you. That was my best friend for time before. She was like, why do you never big yourself up? I'm like, oh, I'd rather stand here. She used to interrupt conversations. Excuse me, do you know what she's done? And I used to be like, oh shit, man. Embarrassing, but at the same time, it got me connect. So
I think people are gonna love that one, because I feel like with artists, a lot of people have the talent, they have everything, and then what separates them is their networking and marketing, because it's like, where do I start? How do I get myself out there? So that's gonna be a big one for people.
You need to put yourself in those rooms and have someone that knows how to like pitch you roughly. Because if you're just like, oh, here's my Spotify, then you gotta have someone that's really willing to big you up, man.
Nah, of course, man. Obviously, before we wrap it up, I'm all about my light questions. It's not too. But if you could walk into a room now and have one song played every time you walked into a room, what song would it be? Like your little theme song?
Oh, that's so hard. That's
Is it a mad question?
I'm trying to think of something like, I don't know. Nah, this is pressure, you know.
Plug yourself.
This is the thing. I'm not even thinking of my music, you know. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, nah.
Okay, if I'm gonna say my own song, I'd probably say "Perfect Timing." It's just a bop. It's just smooth.
So your little
the
straws.
intro is nice,
Even if you take this room out, so your little straws, where you get the cliches, walking down the street, waving at the neighbours, grab the apple. That's your song.
Yeah, that would be my song. Like just stroke, because it's a nice pace. Yeah, you know what I mean. Nice little guitar part.
Nah, that's cold. Obviously, this has been cold, man. Obviously, if you want to like plug yourself, like plug a couple of your projects, and you know, if you got like the album, I'm sure we want to know, is there any estimated time, you know, on that? But yeah, man, talk us through like the projects you've got now, and you know, couple future releases.
Yeah, therefore. So I've got Lying in Truth out now. I've also got A Problem Shared, which was a collaborative project that I've done with a local producer called Cousin Fred. So go stream that, especially if you like your grime kind of stuff. The album, can't give dates. We're still in process. We're still working hard on it. We've got mad support on it from different places. But yeah, just if you want to know where I'm at, know where my next things are dropping, just follow me. Follow me on socials, Lady Sanity on everything. Okay,
and obviously with that, fans, if you got a message for the fans, one message, what message? Anything you want to tell them, keep them updated. Like, Sanity's here to stay. What do you want to tell them? Like,
shower daily.
There we go. Keep clean, hygiene, COVID-19.
And drink water.
I'm a lyricist too. But yeah, man, that's going to be, for me, Ebbs, and obviously Sanity, obviously love every time.
Love,
but
man.
hope you lot enjoyed that, man.